Well, I've tested many Golfs before, but this one is the first one that runs on pure electricity. So, will I be impressed? Let's find out. Well, it looks like every other Golf in a sense, but notice there's no grill up front. And it clearly says e-Golf too on the badge. And on the badge here too. Plus, you've got these special and different from other Golf wheels too. But from the side, you can definitely see that it's a Volkswagen Golf. A definite family resemblance. And to me, that's a good thing. It's a classic shape and an icon. So it definitely gets kudos for the styling. But let's go inside and see what we've got there. Well, it looks like a traditional Golf inside, but there's a bit of added flair for the E version. Check out the stitching on the steering wheel, and check out the stitching here too. It matches. Very cool. Notice the Audi-like steering wheel too, with the straight bottom. Nice. The leatherette seats are, of course, fake leather, and they do get some manual controls, but also power controls too. They're extremely supportive and comfortable. Taper to your body very well. So, excellent seats, as you'd expect in any Golf. You've got your padded armrest that reveals deep storage. Covered cup holders here, too. Very nice to have. Electronic parking brake, and a charger right in the middle there, plus a little storage nook there. It's actually a one-speed transmission that you can't really shift yourself, but more on that later. I'll tell you what that does. It's a curious thing to start an electric vehicle. There's no real sound that it makes. It just sort of pops on, and you know it's on because, well, your dual zone air conditioning starts up, and you can see the gauges light up. So there are your clues. And speaking of gauges, you've got this charge gauge here, which shows you when you're in the charge zone or you're using power. And it also has sort of a power gauge on the bottom. On the right hand side you have a speedometer and also sort of an electricity gauge there on the bottom. And in the middle there's the gauge that tells you all your information, like the fact that we have 67 miles to go and it's 86 degrees outside, and we've traveled 3 miles so far. You control that menu on the steering wheel here. You can slide up through different settings here. Lots of information, and you can go ahead and scroll through your different settings as well. And there you have it. But like I said before, it's a very Audi-like steering wheel with a flat bottom. You get your cruise control settings here, and on the right side you also have Bluetooth too. Back to the center console here, and you have this very cool Park Pilot, which lets you know with sensors and sounds what's in your way when you're parking. Excellent feature. Heading on into the infotainment screen, and it's very nice, very easy to control your presets here. Excellent. I like that. Your media, of course, you can hook up your smarter iPhone, USB jump drive. Go on into navigation, there's traffic, and that tells you basically what's going on, what incidents are around, and that's extremely convenient to have. And then going into the menu here, you have an app connect that connects you with apps. It asks you how you want to be connected. And also, going back in, you can even store images and things like that, and songs. So it's an excellent infotainment system that's very easy to navigate and easy to use too. Great. I really like the attention to detail in this e-Golf here. Check out the rear view mirror here. It's very cool. It even matches sort of the top and the headliner. It matches the sun visors here. And then you go down to the dash, and it's like soft touch materials. You got a bit of chrome coming across, and then a very cool night light. Actually, you'll see it later with a blue light that lights up here, and even lighting down here too. So it's a very modern looking Golf, and that's good because this is a very forward-thinking car. To the left of the steering wheel you have controls for your lights on the door, controls for your outside mirrors, power windows and door locks, and some storage down here and a cup holder. So overall it's a great interior that's definitely forward-thinking, and it's also comfortable and a bit luxurious too. Out back you have power window controls on the door, a little bit of storage underneath, magazine rack, your own vents, and seating for up to 3 across. Go ahead and pop open the trunk, and as in every Golf, it's very usable, and you even get a luggage cover too. And this being a German car, you also get a pass-through for skis, which is nice, and a first aid kit too, plus a charger. And of course you have the ability to fold down the seats for even more room. Your electrical equivalent to MPGs is MPGEs, and you'll get 126 in the city and 105 on the highway, with 116 expected overall. Driving range is 83 miles with a full 240 volt charge taking 3.7 hours. Cost per year, $550. Not too shabby. Okay, so I'm starting off my journey that is definitely challenging the max right here. 74 miles it says for my range. So let's see how we do on this trip around the highway, mostly highway miles. So I'll keep you posted and see how true to the range we are, and also see if we can improve it a bit or if it's less than we think it might be. And that is what driving an EV is all about, an electric vehicle. It's all about the range, and it's all about how far you can go. Sometimes you might want to push the limits a bit. I am going to a round trip close to the outer range, but fortunately where I'm going I should be able to charge up and get a little extra mileage, so we'll see how it does overall. But just the fact that I'm in a Volkswagen Golf EV is really amazing. You know, I grew up when the Volkswagen Golf and GTI were cars that you really longed for. They really embodied the best that a car had to offer. You could travel with up to 5 people, and you could travel in some style with some speed as well. Sure, it wasn't as nice as your dad's Beamer, but it was luxurious, and it had a sort of country club air to it. Volkswagen GTIs and Rabbit convertibles or cabrios were really status symbols back in the day, and you could definitely take them to the country club and not feel out of place. And now fast forward 30 years later, and I'm doing it without an internal combustion engine. It's just an electric vehicle, and that's really amazing. Progress and time, and it is truly the age of the electric vehicle now. But what does it cost to make the e-Golf your own? Well, pricing starts at $35,595 because this is the SEL Premium e-Golf, and that means it comes fully loaded, so there's really no options. You're out the dealer door at $36,415. There is a much less expensive e-Golf that you can get into, and you also want to check your local government and the federal government for your $7,500 credit, which will bring the price way down, and other different localities, states offer different incentives, like perhaps Colorado and California, so look into that. And really, in terms of competition, there are a lot of EVs out there today. I've recently driven the Kia Soul EV, and I've also driven the Mitsubishi i, but really from BMW to Nissan, they are out there and you can now buy them. So if you want to save the world by using no more gas and avoid the gas stations altogether, you can now do it, and you can do it in a great car like this e-Golf SEL Premium. And it is fully loaded. You get heated seats, you get navigation, you get satellite radio, Bluetooth, cruise control, of course, power windows and door locks, built-in safety as well, and really it feels like any other Golf, basically. It's a lot more quiet, of course. That was pretty much deep throttle right there, and you couldn't hear anything. So driving an EV is really amazing. This Golf really does feel like other Golfs, and that is bringing something special to the electric vehicle market, because like I said, the Golf has been a status symbol throughout the years, and that continues today. The German engineering follows through here. You feel comfortable driving this on your commute, and you also feel like you can have a bit of fun when you approach a twisty road. And you can actually shift yourself. It says recuperation stage 1, and that basically means that you're using the engine braking and really charging it like a generator, so you're increasing your MPGs. In other words, if you put it in that setting when you're going down a hill, well, your range should increase because you're charging the battery. So that's a good thing. Notice I'm way into the charge there. But I'm going to get out of that mode and continue the normal driving. And now it feels like any other car. There's no drag, and you're able to accelerate and brake, and it feels just like any other car, just like any other Volkswagen Golf. And that's a good thing. Well, it's nighttime, but I do have a nice little twisty road here. And I can tell you that the e-Golf is still a Golf. And it's surprisingly fun and surprisingly quick, too. It feels quicker than it is, I think. But the best thing is that it does feel like a Golf, and that means it handles quite well in the turns, and that's a good thing. Now, taking a look at the night look here, and that really is top notch. Look, you got these blue little accent lights, and really just nice, luxurious colors here all around. Very, very cool. You even have some lighting down by your feet, so you can see what's going on down there if you want to. And just really top notch for this night look here. Now that brings me to my Drivin Ivan technology integration score, and I do like the way they do many things in this Volkswagen e-Golf. For example, if I touch the Park Pilot here, it goes ahead and tells me what's around the car, and it does it with these sort of symbols around the car. So that's excellent. If I start backing up here and I get close to an object, well, it's going to start beeping at me. It actually tells me the way I'm turning, and it's going to tell me that there's an object ahead of me. Tell me how close it is. Very nice. So that's really quite advanced technology right there, and it's very easy to use. And I also like the way they've laid out the infotainment screen. Everything's easy to use. You can get in and see traffic incidents around you, and that's great. It's easy to interact with your phone, easy to interact with your favorite tunes, whether they're on Sirius XM satellite radio or on your USB jump drive or on your phone, no problem. So really, the Volkswagen e-Golf gives you great integration of technology, and therefore my Drivin Ivan technology integration score is a very solid 9 out of 10 for the e-Golf. Nice. Okay, so I've arrived home and I'm ready to charge it for the night. I've driven 48 miles just now, but I would say somewhere in the neighborhood of about 75 miles overall. So I think it's pretty accurate. I've got 24 miles left, and I was able to charge it for almost 20 miles. So yeah, it's pretty accurate, and that's exactly what you want from your EV. Now I'll go ahead and charge it up overnight when electricity is at the lowest cost. So that's another great thing. You're driving along in the Golf here, and you see that there's really no blind spots. It's very good. Maybe a bit there in the corner, but it's got great visibility all around, and it's a great driving position, even though it's partially manually and partially automatic adjustable. Seats are very comfortable and snug. One thing that's pretty bizarre is the gauge cluster here, the speedometer. So I'm going 33 miles an hour right now, and you'll notice that it only goes up to 100. So if you're at 75 miles an hour, you're like way 3/4 up the speedometer. So it only has a top speed of like 83, 85 miles an hour. So it's only 100 mile per hour speedometer, and that's kind of strange as to most speedometers these days, especially on other Volkswagens. So that takes some getting used to. Well, the good news is I'm making it home to my destination. The bad news is that the air conditioning has stopped working. It actually shuts down the air conditioning, and it actually prohibits vehicle speed from getting too high too, to save the battery. So it's certainly interesting coming to the bottom of the barrel in an electric car, and so you got to be careful when you're traveling around. But you know, you can plan your destinations, and the range does seem to be pretty accurate, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. But you know, it is what it is, and that's just one of the foibles of owning an electric vehicle and saving the environment. Sometimes you might cut it close, but oh well. No big deal, I'm making it home. So to me, the electric vehicle is an exciting thing. It's a way that you can skip the pumps forever. You can help to keep America out of the Middle East with foreign oil concerns, and you can really help the environment and help your bank account as well, because just to drive the e-Golf for 1 year should be around $550 when you charge it at home, and that is really, really good. Just $550 for the entire year of driving. I guess they're figuring somewhere around 15,000 miles, so that's really excellent. And like I said before, you are not suffering in this e-Golf, the SEL Premium version. It's got everything you need to be comfortable. Leatherette seating, heated seats, great dual zone climate control, Sirius XM satellite radio, traffic navigation, and of course Bluetooth, USB. You can hook up your smarter iPhone, so it's really got everything you need in terms of technology and comfort. Plus, it is an electric vehicle, so you're not using any gas, you're helping to save the environment, and you're saving the world and saving some money on gas at the same time. I'm definitely impressed with it. It is a Golf through and through, and that to me is the most important thing about this e-Golf. It doesn't feel any different than another Golf that you might drive. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to me on YouTube. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I'm Drivin' Ivan.